Law enforcement officials are investigating the death of a black man who was found hanging from a tree Thursday after having been missing for 2 weeks. They haven't released the man's name, but yet they've got a picture up. Okay, well, maybe the picture is of the suspect. I don't know. They don't say. Everybody, let's see. All right, where's the suspect then? Okay, apparently they've got a picture up there of Otis Boyd. Now, either they completely fucked up on this story and released a picture of the man that was found hanging, or that's the suspect. Or this is one of those weird things where he's nobody even related to it, and they've got a picture of a random black man up there. Don't underestimate the fuck-uppery of the media. Oh, there it goes. There it goes playing. I didn't say you could play. You lose, CBS. We're done with you. No, I'm out. Play some video when I didn't say play, bitch. I'm back to Google. We'll talk about Tunisia in this bitch. Records, woman accused of taking baby said she was pregnant. Well, who cares? Watching solar eclipse, you guys know we're in a solar storm right now. A bit of a spike in geomagnetic activity. Something to watch out for. Shit'll shut down. Maybe that's why my computer rebooted in the middle of my last show. Amazon gets okay to test drones outdoors. What do you guys think about the Secret Service scandal? I mean, is this ever going to stop people in privileged positions just saying the law doesn't apply to me? It's getting old. It's really getting old. I mean, transparency needs to be... I don't know. Maybe it's just never going to stop. Fuck it. Vermont. Where's Paul Dembski? Vermont to get $8.9 million U.S. to grant to train food stamp recipients. So they can't have food stamps anymore with the new... Well, it depends on if the budget passes. But they can get work training, so they don't need food stamps. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm leaving that alone because I know what y'all start doing if I fucking defend anybody. Tesla basically just ignited the driverless car era. You sure? I don't think they were the first ones. By the way, guys, space tourism is going to get big. I don't know if you knew this, but I mean, for $33 million right now, you can go to the International Space Station and spend like a week. But that's going to get cheaper and cheaper. And I think it'll be a relief to get some people off this planet, because I don't trust this one planet to hold all of the hopes of humanity. We need to spread out like a bad virus, because that's what we are, right? Consume and leave, consume and leave. Rape the place and run, and that's what we do. Arctic sea ice hits record low winter maximum, points to evidence of long blank. Yeah, long-term climate change, we know. If you read up on it, you won't have any question about this climate cycle being unnatural. Man-made, is it man-caused? I don't know, and I don't care. I just know we need to do something about it. They've had scandals forever, says Apocalypse. I know, but look at all the attention that it gets now from the media. You know, if you look at countries that don't truly have free presses, you find that they're not going to talk about this at all. We have a free press now, but people were still afraid to talk about it up till about 30 years ago. Now, there's a lot of talk about people abusing their power. So it is getting more attention. And it needs to, and the levels of transparency need to increase in any taxpayer-funded organization or part of the government that there is. All of them. You need to be able to see what people are doing in there. The laws need to apply to people equally. I don't care if they're in the Secret Service. If you're drunk and you run into some shit, you need to be tested for DUI if you were out on a public road. Solid. I mean, seriously. I mean, because the next guy behind you is going to be, but he's in the Secret Service. Let's let him go. Fuck that. In fact, I think they should reopen the case and prosecute for leaving the scene of an accident if that's the case. It just pisses me off. I hate abuses. If there's anything I hate in human behavior, there's about 5 things I hate. One of them is the abuse of power. And I see that most often with government officials, murder, things of that nature. Get a little power. They've shown this in psychology. You've seen the study. There was a movie that came out with Forrest Whitaker, and I forget what it was called, The Experiment or something. And as soon as you give somebody some power, if they don't have the maturity and wisdom to know how to handle and contain that power, they're going to abuse it. As soon as they think nobody's looking, if it can give them any kind of advantage, they're going to abuse it. What was the first or second Diablo game that came out? So you beat the devil, and you get this spike. And the character in the end, shoves the spike in his own head, and he goes and roams the forest. And the spike has all this power. And he does that so that, apparently, so that no one else gets the spike. Because only he can trust himself with that power. He can't trust anybody else with it. That's in a way, I think that's what good people do. Good people that get into power take the spike. They're just going to get it. They're going to abuse it. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the original creators of Diablo knew what the fuck was going on. Hello, K-Tap, tap, tap, tap. Good show. This is the Bobby Bowell movement. This is Bobby Bowell movement. I don't get it, man. If that is Guy Shay, what up, Guy? Good show earlier. Sorry I was late to it. I didn't know you were doing a show till I decided to open Skype and saw a message. The U.S. Army is looking into allegations that soldiers at Fort Wainwright, Alaska are allowed to use racial slurs against each other during Racial Thursdays. Every day is Racial Thursday. Okay, I haven't heard that one. I got my second knee surgery at Fort Wainwright. You know who the racists are in your circles. They're the ones that tell you the N-word jokes. You know who they are. You know, it's funny because I know people, I'm not going to say any names, that have black people in their families. And they're just not racist. They actually love someone, feel the emotion of family love towards someone that is not of white descent or is of half descent. And then they drop the N-word here or there, and all of a sudden they're labeled a racist. You should probably know who's racist, not who's using racist terms. One of those things will never harm you, and one of those things can harm you. You can figure out which one. Response to Polly PissyPants. Oh, I get it now. Bobby Bowell movement and Polly PissyPants getting married next Tuesday, and they're going to have to wear diapers. Yeah, because you see what I did there? You got it. You got it. Guy Shay says, I'm a mixed nigga family. I've got black in my family now. My niece's my niece's child is half black. And I was kind of relieved. Have you seen people, especially radio hosts, but also like TV hosts, and I know I mentioned last show that Don Imus did it recently, who go way over the top to show they're not racist? Like they spend extensive amounts of time trying to show that they're not racist, trying to show that they have a black friend, or that they've supported some minority cause. Extensive amounts of time. Watch out for that person, because I'm not saying they're racist. I'm saying they probably feel guilty about something. They must feel guilty about something to try to prove it that much, over the top. I think you might need to podcast an Imus Hoops bracket show soon.
This is Don Imus. I don't know what Imus Hoops bracket is. I'll tell you this. If you want to come out to the ranch and support kids with cancer, we did put on a basketball hoop, and you can come out there, take a shot from the back of a cow, and if you have extensively large vagina, it's extensively large, it's the kind you can roll out like a red carpet, you'll probably want to roll that up because there's a high degree of movement on these particular cows. And you take a shot, you make a three-pointer, I'll let you kiss my penis. That's the way that works.
So, yeah, you can enter the Don Imus bracket hoop contest there. Do that. I was thinking, I wish can you imagine taking a halfway intelligent brain and just feeding it a bunch of crack and watching what happens? I'll bet the Nazi scientists did similar things. When they had the Jews in the camp and they were allowed to do medical experiments on them with free, no restrictions. Why? I know crack as a chemical wasn't around then, but I wonder if they fed them copious amounts of cocaine and heroin and alcohol and just said, oh, let's see what this does, And that would have been very interesting. As deplorable as the behavior was, the scientific part of me would insist on watching that film all the way through. Yeah, some things you don't look away from. You just look at them. There are some things I can't watch. They have these beheading videos and shit online. I can't. No, not my thing. Not my thing. How many of you guys in the chat room can sit through a beheading video? I pulled the one up long ago. Danny Pearl, who was a reporter from New York, got decapitated in, I believe it was Iraq. And I was enraged. I mean, I felt rage the strongest I think I've ever felt it when I saw that. I wanted to go to Iraq right then. And it didn't come from just the animalistic nature of the crime. It came from the fact that he was innocent. See, I wouldn't have felt the same if they had done this to even one of my brothers that was an airman, had that person been involved in the attacks against that group. Because now it's almost more equal, but it's still a prisoner position. It's almost more equal. Now you got somebody that's hurt you. You do that to a reporter or a kid or a woman? Fuck that. Unless it's my ex-wife, no, don't do that. They're all false flags. JP and Triple M, I think, who are we dealing with? It can't be JP because he knows that most conspiracy theories are false. Triple M is into the conspiracy theories, I think. Aren't you, Mr. Midnight Movie? You know, my belief on it is about 80-90% of the popular conspiracy theories don't have enough ground to stand on, in my opinion. That's me. How about the rest of y'all? Take your top 10 most popular conspiracy theories. How many of them do you give credit to? Think they need some more investigating? I think there needs to be 14 new followers ASAP to hit 2K. K-Tap, my OCD is kicking in. Oh, yeah. Well, I was over 2,000, but once I did the show with the commercial called Put Your Hands Up in an effort to save black lives, I lost a bunch. And, I get it. I went over the edge there, but that's all right. I'm going to do that on occasion. But so even if I go over 2,000, I'll do something to fuck up and lose 100 or 200. It's all right. I don't care. I don't care about followers and listens and all that. No, I don't believe in all the false flags. I believe there's been some here or there, but you give someone like the U.S. government an amazing amount of competence in your rating of their potential when you say that they can pull off something so big and keep it under wraps for so many years. When is the JFK show, Kevin? I haven't finished watching those shows, Andrew. I'm on the 6th one right now. But I don't know when y'all want to do it. I'm not coming into that show trying to disprove or prove anything, but I am going to be coming into that show from what I've seen so far looking for more evidence, because unless they can show more concrete evidence than they have in the early part of the investigation that I've seen, I'm not buying it. I think at worst, Lee Harvey Oswald may have been hired by someone, or he may have been part of something bigger, but I don't see it being as deep as they say. I just see a lot of incompetence. And I think where the U.S. government went wrong in the confusion is to take away authority from the state of Texas to do their autopsy, as they would normally do for anyone that's killed in that state. And that's where things went out of whack. And then from there was a lot of trying to cover up mistakes, but I don't think there was a lot of trying to cover up mysterious murderers. But I could be wrong. Who do you think did it? Who do you guys think did it? Was Lee Harvey Oswald involved at all? In the thing I've been watching, they're talking about some French assassins. I believe they're French. And the mob being involved and the government itself being involved. I don't know. I don't really buy that. Although, it's possible. I mean, it's happened throughout history. Please speak into the door handle. We can't see you. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to conspiracy theories, they're really interesting. They make for great reading. But if you're a critical thinker, you immediately will start seeing holes in these theories. And every theory's got some holes in it. But when they start to mount up, and there's a lot of logical inconsistencies, you can't keep taking them seriously. Like when I read a conspiracy theory, I'm a little bit hesitant these days. I used to be, okay, I'm open-minded, so I'm going to listen to this and see what they got. Now I go into it thinking this is probably not going to be turned out to be true, but I'm going to go ahead and look into it. And that comes from experience of just so few of them turning out to be anything. And when I tell people that I take the UFO conspiracy theories somewhat seriously, they immediately dismiss any other thing I say, because to say anything about UFOs is to label yourself crazy. And, when the astronauts and the pilots talk and the FAA officials, I listen to them. I don't think we have better witnesses in this species than those people. And if they say they've seen something, I'm going to believe them. And what it is, I don't know. But you say UFO now, you're labeled, man. You are labeled. It's a shame. Let's see what the Bell helicopter killed him. That's right. I remember guys saying Bell had a big military contract thing going on. And he was gonna put a hurting on that. What are the top conspiracy theories? Let's see what you guys think about these. We're turning this into a conspiracy show.